Hi everyone, welcoming you all to this new session of the Data C podcast. And with us today, we have Ankita. So, Ankita, could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Hi, Sudhanshu. Thanks for inviting me over to this podcast. So, a little brief intro about myself is that I have about 7 years of experience in this domain of data analytics and data science. I started my career with Mu Sigma, and after that, I have been part of companies like Adobe and Synchrony. And majority of my career has been spanning around digital side of the business. When I say digital side of the business, that means that I have been taking care of, your website, the website analytics, different A/B testing, different types of campaigns, etc., etc. So basically, yeah, that's what I have been majorly into product analytics and product data scientist domain, and I do have my fair share of machine learning models building as well, but majorly that's also focused towards marketing, digital marketing. I have been in marketing for quite some time now. Yep.
Yeah, that's great. So, you have done your bachelor's in information technology, IT, right?
Mm.
So, how did you get into machine learning, data science? Like, you had your interest from the beginning that I wanted to go other side of the race because if you are from CSIT and during that time, mostly people
Mm.
focused on web developments. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and data science was quite a new field at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
True.
how it began?
Yeah, so basically, correctly pointed out at that particular point in time, I think when I was in college, that was so middle years of my college would be around 2015, 16. So that time data science was not that popular, at least in India. So basically, I wasn't, let's say I tried my hands at software engineering, but I think I was not that great in that domain. But one thing I found out that I did enjoy solving maths. That was a positive area in like within me, I would say my pros. So when I found out that there's a particular area where you need to know maths and statistics and you need to solve problems around those and using data, you need to have knowledge of software engineering as well because that's actually right now becoming increasingly important. That time it was not that so, but
Right.
that was a plus. If you had that was a greater choice. So when I got to know about the company Mu Sigma that will be coming to our campus, what was it all about? What was data analytics? What was machine learning? What was so we all did, regression and correlation, basic statistical analysis in our 11th, 12th itself. Also, it was there in college, right? So when you know the bigger part of where it is getting implemented, why is it getting implemented? So that interested me quite a lot. I think the way, let's say, for me, I didn't have a lot of like idea or exposure into exactly how, let's say, the internal workings of machines. We are learning about DSA and everything, but then we're not able to see the direct impact, at least on industry level at that time. But we got to know about the industrial impact of machine learning. We got to know what it does to business and how it can be, again, simplified, not in a technical term, but in business term and layman terms as well. I think that's what attracted me quite a lot. Saying that, okay, I'm able to understand not only the theoretical part of it and the industrial implementation part of it as well. Not being a pro at it at that time, even right now. Becoming a pro takes a lot of time, but just as a beginner, you get to understand where it is getting used. I think that's what attracted me. That's what probably attracts a lot other people too. That's why,
Right.
and that's how I got interested in music. I sat for it. I gave my all in the interview, and I got selected. And after that, that's where my journey started.
Yeah, so I have met a lot of people in data science domain right now working. So for the past 2 years, and a lot of them come from Mu Sigma. Yeah, because even when I talk to my seniors or someone, so whenever something comes about that they started their journey. So recently I had interaction with one of my BP, and so I was working for his department on a project, and then he shared that, okay, when I was in college, so I also wanted to get into stats, basically data science. At that time it was not directly data science, and then mu sigma came. So I was not able to exactly get into it, but some of my friends got into mu sigma, and now they are great data scientists working in the industry. So, what is something like about Mu Sigma that prepares you? That is basically a lot of data scientists are coming from, like, great data scientists starting their career from Mu Sigma.
So basically, what I'll say is, at that point in time, 10 years back, there were only a handful of companies in India who were doing hardcore analytics. Mu Sigma was one of them. Those Mu Sigma got that vision, Mu Sigma's founder, they got the vision that analytics and data science is going to take over in the next 10 years, a decade or 2 decades. So based on that vision, they created the a company. They built up the company from scratch. And at that point in time, the kind of training, the kind of exposure that used to get into the world of analytics was not so easily available. Right now, it's available freely, absolutely everywhere. But that time it was not available. That time, if you remember, we didn't have as much internet. We did not have YouTube. Like that, this kind of YouTube, the way we are supposed to get it, like we are used to get it right now. So no kind
Right,
of exposure was there. Only Geeks for Geeks was there as the only website where you can get some information other than books and your professors. So you could only solve DSI problems, and that's it. There was not much exposure into SQL, data analysis, what great things Excel can also do. We always, look at Excel like, okay, this is just, Microsoft Excel. What max can I do from it? But there's thousands of things that you can do. So when we got into Musicma, the kind of training that they provided with SQL, Python, Excel, statistics, business analysis. That built the foundation, I believe. And a lot of us who joined the training program, who were there for the first, 1, 2, 3 years, and we got to bond over. There were so many. Since it was a like. For those of you who don't know, Music was a service-based company. So there we used
right,
to be part of different client teams, whichever we got assigned to or we chose for ourselves. And then we used to solve those particular problems in different domains. So not only you got exposure into the technical part of it, but rather you got exposure to the business part of it as well, which is extremely, extremely important. So I think before 2020 or even till 21, 22, people were not focusing that much on the business side, but slowly and steadily, people are able to understand that business plays a lot of role. You need to understand your domain before you can go and analyze something. You can build a model on it, or you can understand why it is working versus not working. So that kinds of business exposure we got into not only one domain. There were technical clients, there were health care, pharma companies, there were retail companies, there were yeah, so banking, financial services, and like thankfully I got exposure into all of those, not only from Sigma, from my journey over the years, but that builds up your confidence as well. That kind of creates a sense of comparison within you. Get to understand, this industry uses the same product, same algorithm in this way versus that industry uses it in a different way, and what is the reason and all that. When your base foundation is strong, then it's not that difficult to pick up difficult things or complex things along the way. So that's what Music did for all of us, I think.
yeah,
Right now, there are
that's
lot more companies out in the market, but that
right.
time it was not there. That's why you will see majority of us coming from Music.
Yeah, got it, got it. So after Mu Sigma, like, you have got into Adobe and Synchrony, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Synchrony and Adobe, and then you came back in Synchrony.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, how was the experience like in Adobe, and how things were different when you started in Music Man, Synchrony, and then move into Adobe?
Um, so in Adobe, I used to take care of Creative Cloud segment, and there we had different segments within Creative Cloud, like student and SMB, small and medium businesses. So I used to take care of those. So there, my job was mostly to understand, again, same as product analytics, want to understand what the product is doing, how if the product is, selling well, not selling well, what is the reason, what can we do better. I again used to sit with the marketing team only, and that's where I got the understanding that I love doing marketing. I uh, love being in that particular domain, and I used to take care of different A/B testings on their websites and how can things change. Even a small change can make a lot of difference. That's where I got to know all that. So yeah, that was a very good experience overall.
Can you share any of the A/B testing which you have done? Of course, not including the complete details. So just the gist of it, that how things happened, what was your problem statement, and how much, what were the sample size and all, and what was the complete process, and what were the results you have derived from that?
Yeah, sure. Although I won't be able to share any confidential details. So
Right.
I'll make up numbers and
Sure.
I'll tell you from that perspective. So usually how A/B testing goes, not in Adobe, everywhere. So if you are, A/B testing can be for different purpose, for different domains, depends on where you are doing it. So if you're doing it on a page, if you're doing it on an app, if you're doing it for different segments of people for a different product altogether, let me give you a brief of what A/B testing is for the audience. So basically, let's say you have a product. Let's say you have built a beauty product. I'm just taking an example. Some beauty product that you have built, and let's say you are an established company altogether, and now you want to understand if this particular product is doing good or not, or are people liking it, are they not liking it, what could be the possible reasons, and so on and so forth, etc., etc. So first you need to check the product market fit. So to check the product market fit, you have to actually try it on different people. So similarly, let's say you have a technical product. Okay, so you have built I don't know, a video platform that you want to sell to people. Okay, they can go ahead, something like Google Meet or Zoom, take a similar product. So you want to test it, so you will go ahead, you can try out. Let's say on your page you will try a different version of your product with some extra features, and you will assign it, or you will make sure that your website is showing it only to the 50% of the random audience or users that's coming to your page. So 50% of the random users will be able to see the enhanced feature, extra features in the same price, let's say, and versus, let's say, 50% of the rest of the group, they will be able to see your older features itself. There's no new or enhanced feature that they will be able to get their hands on. So if that is the case, then basically we try to measure based on the different changes that we have made, the features that we have made in that particular product. Are more people using it? And let's say, when I say using it, that means since it's our product, technical product, we'll be able to get the usage data, we'll be able to get the behavior
Right.
data as well. So in A/B testing, we try to first come up with a hypothesis. So what the problem statement would be, what the problem statement is, and what are we trying to achieve from it. And that's the first step. And then after that, we try to understand, what the main metric or our main goal is. Because uh, it might seem easy that, okay, there will be only one goal for only one hypothesis, right? But that doesn't work in the real world. So you will have 10 different goals that you can probably tackle with only one problem. That's very much possible. Same way we do multitasking. So here, right now, you need to convince yourself, your product manager, your developers. So A/B testing is not a singular effort. It's a joint effort, it's a joint venture with all the team members that you have available. Majority stakeholders or main stakeholders in this domain would be, let's say, you as a data scientist. There'll be some data software developers, there'll be their testers, there'll be data engineers who are supplying you the data, there'll be product manager in the middle, then there'll be marketing people, then there will be their bosses or the main product manager or stakeholders, because always in a company only one product is not enough. You will see that probably you'll start with one product, but there'll be a plethora of other products which are there, and every product is connected to each other. So there's a lot of stakeholder that you need to manage, you need to collaborate with. Finally, you need to let them know that, this is what the result is. What we try to do usually, we'll try to see what I mentioned at the starting itself. We'll try to pick a metric that will be the goal, and you need to stick to that goal itself, because there can be 10 different metrics and that can be calculated from this problem statement itself. If you stick to that goal, then at the end of the day, after the A/B testing time period is gone, you will be measuring that. Let's say if it's revenue, it means, did many people, like extra people, buy this product because of the enhanced features that we are providing to them, versus the 50% of the group who did not get that kind of ad product in the first place, or pricing, right? So that is something that we'll compare. Is more people buying it or not? Is more people using it or not? So in A/B testing, it's better if you can categorize your metrics, your goals into 2 or 3 different buckets. Why do I say that? It's because there can be a primary metric, there needs to be a secondary metric, because always, let's say your users are increasing. A lot of people have bought this, but then, since this is a subscription kind of a product, remember this is a technical product that I talked about. So at the end of the day, your guardrail metric would be if many people are canceling as well at the end of 30-day free trial period or not. Or another metric we will take a look into is, because of this new product being enhanced and being marketed so much, is it affecting all the other products altogether? So that means there can be some kind of cannibalization effect. So we will dive deeper into that. So A/B testing takes a lot of, I would say there are a lot of branches that you can tackle, but majorly you'll start with hypothesis, you'll create your goal, you'll create your metric, it can be your North Star, then you'll have your secondary, then you'll have your guardrail metrics, which we cannot lose at any cost. And then finally, and there are a lot many effects and statistical hypotheses. There is a lot of probability that's involved that you have to take care of. And then finally, go ahead and tell the product manager, what you think. Is the A/B test a successful one, or no, we cannot find any conclusion, or it's a losing one. So there can be 3 possible outcomes from an A/B test. Either you are able to understand it's a winner, you're able to understand it's a loser, and you're not able to understand it's inconclusive. So again, you'll think about what are the suggestions, what other opportunities lies, and how you can improve that. So yeah, that's
Right.
how it generally progresses.
Yeah, the complete life cycle of A/B testing.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, so there are some common pitfalls which generally
Mm-hmm.
product teams fall when get into A/B testing, right? So can you
Mm-hmm.
mention some of them, or anything which happened with you, that okay, you have prepared the complete test, and at the end the result was unconclusive, like non-conclusive, what to say, sorry. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it didn't actually get any benefit. So what are some of the common pitfalls which generally teams fall into when starting or doing A/B testing? And what are some things we need to keep in mind, that is there a need of A/B testing or
Hmm.
not?
Okay. Need of A/B testing is a very broad area. So that only doesn't depend on data. I would say that depends on the kind of budget that you have, if you want to go ahead with it or not. So that's a joint decision that you need to take, and it's not always on you. It comes from higher upper level. On the other hand, let's say doing an A/B testing always checks your product market fit. So it's always suggested. But let's say you do not have a good platform to run A/B testing itself. Because if it's not randomized, if it's not stratified, you're result is nullified at the end of the day. So first thing is, if you do not have the platform, if you do not have your technical backups ready, please don't go ahead with it. That's first thing. So if you're a like small startup, you're just starting up, you do not have enough audience to A/B test. So remember, I talked about statistical part of A/B testing, right? So that matters a lot. You need to have enough number of A/B testing. There is something called power analysis. There's something called novelty effect that we need to take care of at all times. Also, there are a lot of other technical terminologies that we take care of, but not going into that detail. First of all, your platform needs to be ready. That's one thing. Second is, do you have enough audience or not? As I mentioned, right? So if you do not have enough audience, no point. Third is, you need to understand that, or actually, I would say this is the first one. Does your product need A/B testing at the starting itself? So there can be, let's say, some product which you know that okay, probably everyone needs this, and I'm super confident. I'll go ahead, I'll roll it out, I'll launch for 100% of the people. I won't go step by step doing an A/B testing. Yeah, you can do that. There are many products actually which got launched that way, and that they did really well. So if you're really confident, and also you have your data backed up, you know that from my earlier products, this product is like super leap. Go ahead, launch it directly. And so yeah, that these are, I think, at the top of my mind, these are the ones that I can think of, that if there's a need of A/B testing or not, it's always suggested, as I mentioned, but then you have to understand if you have the audience. Oh, another one, sorry. If you have the time to run A/B testing. So I talked about power analysis, right? So it decides how much audience you need, how much users or customers or traffic that you need. Also, it decides how much time you need to actually give a conclusive result. If you do not have the time, if you only have 1 day or 2 day or 3 day, and you're expecting, okay, my A/B testing, whatever result I got, that's the best one I can get. No, statistically saying that's not possible, and that's not correct. I won't go into
Right.
possibility, but I'll say it's not correct. So if you do not have the time, don't go ahead with it. Also, what other areas? Of course, traffic, time, platform, and yeah, I think these are the main ones that you definitely should consider before jumping straight ahead into running an A/B test. Other than that, I think, sorry, what was the question? I forgot. I
Yeah.
lost track.
Yeah. Some of the common pitfalls for product teams when going
Some
into
of
A/B
the
testing. Yeah.
Sure.
So I guess yeah.
Some of the common pitfalls for product teams would be to not run a lot of tests at the same time. So that's major thing. Because I think smaller companies, it's not that big of a problem, because you do not have as many product managers, you do not have as many um, products to run tests on. Okay, so that's one thing. So that do not interfere probably as much. But when you are going into a bigger company, whenever you are comparing between your particular products, because each product is interconnected. Each product is interconnected with each other. Even if you think it is not, it is, believe me. And do not run too many tests at the same time, because it can interfere with each other's result. And at the end of the day, no tests will be conclusive. Remember that every tests take time and money as well, because you're paying the platform, you are paying your employees. So that's costs, I can say, upfront, which is coming, right? So do not waste time, and do not run too many tests parallelly. Another thing is, do not try to test multiple things in the same test. It becomes really difficult for us to determine which one is the one which actually moved the needle. So do not try too many different things together at the same A/B test. So definitely that's a area I'd like to talk to you about. Another common pitfall is that, please don't stop an A/B test at the starting itself just because you're seeing traction. So that's novelty effect. Just remember, just I'll take a small example, and I'll tell you. So when one particular product comes up new at the starting itself. So let's take a like product, like let's say iPhone. iPhone 14. Probably whenever they are launching things in India and any other market. So the first couple of days or the first week, again, I think iPhone probably is not a good example because iPhone definitely, I mean, Apple is a different company altogether. If one
You
product
can
won't run, they will
you can
come
take
with
example of Realme or Redmi, Oppo
Realme.
kind of products.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because in the
Yeah,
beginning,
yeah, yeah, sure.
yeah,
Uh, yeah. So yeah, different kinds of products basically. Let's say who doesn't have that kind of craze like an iPhone. So any other product you take. It can be a phone, can be a laptop, anything that has created a stir in the market. So let's take an Oppo phone. So it has just launched, so everybody is aware of the phone, and then going in, the jumping in. Probably there a lot of sales will happen on the first day, second day, probably the first week. But if you just based on that, if you say, "Oh my God, my product is a hit," that's it. I won't make any other products after this. It's not a good way to go. Of course, because this is something, as I was talking about, is called novelty effect. Just remember when, let's say, your mother is making some new dish when you were a kid, right? Or maybe somebody is coming to your home with a gift of like chocolate box or everything there. So first day you'll feel crazy, you'll feel on cloud. Wow, I got this and this is a new dish. I can have it. Can you have it for every day? No, you cannot, probably. Like, and the same thing happens with the audience as well. Just remember when, let's say, I'll give you an example. When Threads started, right? And Meta, there's a new product that came up
yeah,
not only
yeah,
with Facebook and Insta, but Threads. So at the starting day or starting week itself, if I can remember, a lot of people joined, they started using it and whatnot. How many of you are using it
yeah,
right now?
yeah. I
So that's,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
please go
So
ahead.
yeah, in the beginning when they launched and they
Hmm.
marketed it as the like competitor of X, or basically the new X, because X was going through a lot of redevelopments. Okay,
Turmoil.
yeah,
Hmm.
turmoil because of Elon Musk. So yeah, everyone went into Thread. Everyone shared that, okay, I'm on Thread. From the next day, no one used it. From the one or two threads posting there, no one used it. So yeah,
No,
that
I
can be
would
a
say
great
no one
example.
uses it. Of course, of course,
Yeah,
there'll be a lot of users there, but
yeah,
just understand the peak happiness that happens whenever you're seeing a new product doesn't stay the same. Whenever you're getting a new remote control car, when I was a kid, it used to excite me. Will it excite me now, or not even me right now? I'm too old. But when I was a kid, at the seventh day, will it excite me the same as it did in the first day? It won't. So very less number of products in the whole world is able to make that kind of an impact that you feel the need of it at the like as much as the need you felt at the first day, you're feeling the same need at the seventh day or 10th day or 100th day even. So those kind of products are usually your requirement products, right? You need it. You do not want it. So there's a difference between the kind of products that you're trying to fit in the market. Either you need it or you want it. So based on whichever category your product falls in, that's how you're marketing. That's how you're A/B testing. That's how everything depends on. So that's why at the starting also I said your business domain, your knowledge matters a lot more than only the technical knowledge. Technical knowledge is like no doubt important, but business domain is something that you pick up along the way.
right, right. Uh, in your experience, what metrics truly matters for A/B testing in marketing or ad campaigns? Like, yeah, I can understand that for multiple business, there can be multiple metrics, and also depends on what you want. But yeah, according to your experience, what are some of the metrics which truly matters for marketing campaign?
This is completely subjective, actually. This completely
Yeah,
depends on the kind of campaign that you're doing. There's not one answer that I can give you. So there's a whole plethora of discussion that needs to go on, and metric discussion is probably the most important thing. that starts like at the initiation of A/B testing itself, the campaign itself. So we know this is the goal that we are aiming for, and that's why we want to reach. It can be revenue, it can be clicks, it can be sell a number of orders, it can be your scroll rate. It absolutely depends on the kind of product that you're selling, the product, the feature, the service that you're providing, anything, whatever you're testing on. Based on that, your metric will be decided. Sorry, this is going to be a generic answer.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, so after working like as a IC, okay, individual contributor for some time, and then you're right now in managerial role, right? If I'm not wrong.
No, no, I'm not a managerial. Actually, recently I shifted to a company called eBay. So there I am working on as a senior data scientist.
Oh, okay, okay. So your past experience was ABP, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
past experience
was
was
that a
ABP, but still it
managerial
was
role?
no, no. That's
No.
IC.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So in
I
banks
thought
or in
that it's a
financial services, sure, no worries.
yeah.
So in financial services, let me clarify. Financial services in any banks, the roles are a little different. So you go to JP Morgan, you go to Wells Fargo, you go to Synchrony, you go to HSBC. So the hierarchy would be something like you are an analyst, you can be a manager, then you can be a AVP, you can be a VP, lead VP, etc., etc. That's how it progresses. So it completely depends on, let's say, if you like your team is too big, and then at the AVP level itself, you will have to manage people. That's great. That's a different area altogether. But the AVP designation with itself does not come as managerial role at the starting because
Okay.
that's how banks function. Banks are a little different than the so your uh, designations will be different.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can become a
Because
VP
in
very quite young in financial services, but it takes a lot of time in technical side.
right, right, right. And also if someone is senior and then they basically after senior role they go into managing teams like the data
Hmm.
analytics manager or then AVP of data analytics. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are other projects you have worked on other than basically experimentation?
So I have worked on classification problems, I have worked on forecasting problems, I have worked on visualizations a lot. Um, yeah, a lot of prescriptive analysis. I think A/B testing kind of falls under that. I have done a lot of inquisitive, a lot of RCAs. You need to do that in any role that you're in. You need to do RCAs.
Right,
So
right,
yeah, I think it has been around that. I do not have a lot of experience in deep learning because I haven't been a hardcore machine learning engineer. But I'm slowly building up on that as well because I think right now you need to be a whole package. You need to know software development. You need to understand data analysis. You need to understand engineering, data engineering. You need to understand a lot more towards AI because AI is not only about agentic AI. So there's a
right.
lot more other base fundamentals that you need to clear on.
So have you
I've
started
built,
like
I have did POC on agentic AI as well. So yeah.
okay. So have you started deep diving into Gen AI, like basics of Gen AI, or just
Hmm.
like experimenting with Gen AI?
I have done basics of Gen AI. So my approach towards any new domain would always be to understand the fundamentals better. And once you grasp the fundamentals, it's quite easy to like quite easy for doing a pet project, of course, not production level projects. So doing a pet project becomes easier when you understand the concepts better. So that's how I approach it. I have understood basics and fundamentals of GenAI, and I'm building small projects. And yeah, I love sharing those in LinkedIn as well, whatever I do.
You earlier said that if right now you are in the industry, you need to know everything from software engineering to data analytics, machine learning, Gen AI, of course. That's the like most talked about term in like 4 or 5 years. Uh, so if someone is coming right in the industry right now, okay, as an entry level, so what do you think? What they need, or suppose that if you are hiring for a team, for your team, of course, someone basically entry level or 2 3 years of experience person. So what do you see that okay, this is a guy that I can take in my team?
Very good question. I think the last couple of years I've taken a lot interviews, and there, see, any company they majorly check for one thing in common. That's the attitude. If it's
Right.
fitting correctly with the company's approach in general or not. So, of course, you need to be technically sound, you need to be well in communication, but at the end of the day, there is, again, what we look for is if we are able to work with the person or not, right? At the end of the day. So that's what we try to find the answer for. So what I do check for if the fundamental concepts are clear and correct or not. I do check for SQL and Python from technical perspective, if it is good, they're able to solve problems well or not. I try to understand and with an ambiguous case study, because a lot of the times our problem statements are very ambiguous. You can approach a problem in 100 different ways. It's not a setup uh, steps that you can take. So I try to understand how their thought process is and how we can, are they able to grab hints or not? And also, I do check that if they are able to explain their projects, whatever they have done, anything that they have done, if they are able to explain their project properly or not. They should be able to clearly communicate it to me in the 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes amount of time that I'm asking them about their projects. I should be having a clear idea. I should be able to explain it to them, not the hands on part, but the objective, what they did, and what the output is. If I'm not able to explain, if I'm not able to understand to explain, then then that's not good enough for me. I
Okay.
think that's how usually any product company you ask, that's how it goes. Okay, so basically, if you are starting out in this particular domain, then what we look for is that if you have basic fundamentals clear or not, if you are able to tackle technical questions well enough and within time. So definitely, please put a timer on whenever you are solving problems. That's basic need. And then after that, we do check if given an ambiguous problem, what is your thought process? How are you navigating through the problem? And also at the end of the day, we another important thing is if you're able to clearly explain your project or not, right? A lot of the cases, I see that people have done many things, but they're not able to answer questions about their own projects. That's a red flag. So please practice what you have done, just telling it out in layman terms, just saying it out loud, and that's it. That's all you need. And at the end of the day, that's again not a lot that the person can do, but we do check if we are able to work with him or her in the team or not. So that is something that is the attitude that you give out in the interview, the kind of vibe that is there, and yeah, that's what we check for. Every company does that. So it's not HR round that I'm talking about or leader round that I'm talking about, but every
Right.
single interviewer who's coming to interview you, they have that task in the back of their head because that's what our instructions are. It's very clear. Do not hire someone if you're not able to work with them. So again, I know this can get ambiguous, but basically just stay yourself, just remain calm, do not become aggressive. And yeah, that's pretty much nothing else.
Okay. Got it. That's it.
Yeah, Ankita, so you are also sharing a lot of things in LinkedIn, and then you have also started your YouTube channel where you share the different uh, topics. You talk about different topics in data science in your domain in YouTube. So, how's that experience as a content creator? How is it going?
Thanks for asking this, Sudhanshu. So that's a new area, of course. I never gave it much of thought that I'll become a content creator or anything as such. But one thing I have found out about myself along the way is that I love teaching. I love talking to people from ground level to top level, how you should approach a problem, how you should tackle a particular area or domain when you're learning it new. I have taken lots of classes and sessions in my companies. So that's where actually I got the feedback, that I have that kind of capability, that ability to understand where people are failing in understanding a concept and how to make them understand that. So that's a like major feedback that I received from a lot of my sessions that I've taken internally, and that's what pushed me actually to become a content creator. And again, I try to stay probably behind again making you guys understand the fundamentals, because I always stress upon that, because if your fundamentals are not clear, you won't be able to answer everything. It's always not about coding it out and creating a product in itself, but sometimes you'll be just getting a pen and paper. Not I'm not talking about only interviews, because uh, it's not about only interviews, right? You have to go into a company, you have to work with the teammates as well. So you have to make them understand your viewpoints. If you're not clear with your thoughts, if you're not clear on concepts, you're not able to go that extra step. And it's always competitive, right? No matter what we say, in any company that you go, in any country that you are in, not in India. So, I understood that my fundamentals is something that I can talk to people about, and that's what I'm doing right now as well. I have my channel's name is The Data Couple. Actually, I run it with along with my husband. So I take care of the data science analytics part, and he takes care of the data engineering part. So we just want to, the objective of our channel itself is to become better ourselves in the whole process of teaching others, as well as make sure that people are, they're grasping the concepts at root. Because with my interviewing experience in the last couple of years, I have seen that there's a lot of breakage that's there in the grassroots level itself. So if that is not uh, well done, then you can only think that how many Gen AI contributors we will get, right? Because the people who are actually contributing, so they are really good in their fundamental concepts. You need to be good in maths, you need to be good in stats, you need to be good in probability, then you need to be good in algorithms and understand why those algorithms actually aren't there. And of course, your technical skills matters. It needs to be, because you'll think that I can just ask from ChatGPT. Yes, but do you have the time to ask ChatGPT? And if you're asking ChatGPT for every basic things, then and there you're probably one step down than your competitor or your peer group or your like anyone in the company or your college.
Right.
So that's what I try to tackle. I try to share as many problems and within time period as I mentioned, right? So you need to make sure that you're solving these many amount of problems within a particular time. That's really needed. That's what I have spoken about earlier as well. Because in company, you'll get a problem statement, you will have to give it within 2 days. So if you think, okay, I'll learn, and then I'll ask ChatGPT, and then I'll come up with a framework, and then I'll share, it doesn't happen in reality, because your manager will be standing right there because they are ready to talk with you, but you're talking to ChatGPT. So that doesn't help. That's a false news, fake impression that is getting created on the market, that you can learn anything from ChatGPT. Just become a ChatGPT expert and then you can crack any company. That doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So that's why my mission is to make sure people are absolutely great in their fundamental concepts. So if they're great in fundamental concepts, you can pick up anything. That's what my belief has been. And yeah, that's what I try to do as well. So yeah, I hope you guys go ahead, check out my channel. That's I think that'll help you in your next step of the journey as well. Yeah, probably that's it. I'll ask Sudhanshu to tag it in the comments or in the description itself, so that you can go ahead and check out.